Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to do a video from a subscriber question. So thank you so much, Sandy, for asking the question. And it was on meditation and my technique. And I'm just so excited to talk about this because it was monumental in my spiritual journey, and it's really where I started. I think one of the first spiritual self-development books I read was The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I don't know if you guys have read that book, but I really recommend it. It honestly changed my life. I'll start by just telling you guys a little bit of a story about how I got into it, and then I'll go into my techniques that I use. Basically, I was reading that book and I was in a really dark place in my life, and I had never really thought about getting to know myself on a deeper level until I started reading that book. And it's all about becoming present and being in the moment. And I remember just accessing a whole different level of myself than I could have ever imagined. Even if you just think for a second now, we are like always being pulled and sucked in by different stimulations all around us all the time, with like TV, media, phone, social, everything like that. So if you even just take a second now to take a deep breath, and just come into the moment, you realize how much you have been getting pulled in so many different directions. And while I was reading that book, it's kind of like being present is infused into the words of the book. As you're reading it, it kind of just compels you to come into the present moment. So I started to learn how that feels. And once you start to feel your own presence, it's intoxicating. When you get that sense, you just want more. And that's what inspired me to continue meditating. Once you feel that once, there's no going back, and the excitement will really keep you going. So I remember I downloaded one of Eckhart Tolle's meditations, and it was kind of based on a body scan where he kind of talked you through all the different places in your body. And because I had read the book, a chapter of the book before I did the meditation, I was already feeling very present. So I think that's a really good place to start, just coming into the moment. And I know it's so hard, but whenever you feel thoughts coming up, just notice them. Just be like, oh, there's a thought. And that observation in itself is enough to start bringing you into the present moment. And it really is based on momentum. Once you find that stillness, it's easier to kind of keep it going. So yeah, when I was doing the body scan, I really just was in the meditation. Nothing was distracting me. I got myself into a place of presence. Every time a thought would come up, I would just notice it and go back to what he was saying. So I was maybe about 10 minutes into the meditation, and all of a sudden I just felt like this vortex, in the middle of my stomach, right? It was like a spiral, and it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I just felt this overwhelming bliss all around me. It was almost like being on drugs or something like that. It just was all consuming, and I didn't question it. I just felt this deep knowing of why I'm here and what I'm doing. Everything has a purpose, and everything is unconditional love. And once I felt that once, I'll never forget that. And I can tell you now, everything is unconditional love, and everything that's happening to us, there's a reason, and it's an experience. So after that, I was just completely hooked. So I started having a daily meditation practice then from that experience. And I understand it's really hard to start your practice. So that's why I would recommend for beginners to just start even with 1 minute. I remember I was rushing for work, and I woke up late and I didn't have time to do my meditation, but I didn't want to let go of my practice. So I had 2 minutes, and I sat down on the couch and I set my timer for 2 minutes and just kept taking deep breaths. And that made such an impact on my day. So I would reckon just start with that if you're really struggling, just 2 minutes. And when I say set the alarm for 2 minutes, just start breathing into your belly, right? Really breathing into your belly and focusing all the attention on the breath going in and the breath going out. And once you do that for a while, your body will naturally start to relax. And then when the thoughts come in and the distractions come in, like, oh, I should be doing this, or I need to get up and do this, or your worries about the day, like I said before, just notice it. Just notice, okay, there's a thought, like it's as if clouds are going by your mind. Oh, there's one, because you're bringing that level of awareness then. And that's kind of the first step to letting the thought go. Just don't let it pull you, don't get engaged by it. Just notice it and bring it back to the breath. And the more you practice this, the easier it will get. And then what I do then when I kind of get into a state of like, okay, I have it under control. Like when the thoughts come up, I notice them and let them go away and bring it back to the breath. And they start to come up less and less then. Then when I get into that state, what I do is I focus all my attention, like my eyes here, like in your third eye. And it's easier because when your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So I think that that's a really helpful tip, is to just stay focused on that one point and breathe. And just feel the energy around your body. Like, trust me, when you're in this state, you'll start to feel energy around your body. You will. And it's kind of a cool sensation because it's almost tangible. You can start with your body. If you feel that hard to sense that at first, trust me, it will come. But you can start feeling the energy in your body and then start to feel the energy around your body. And when you're focused on that, you're not thinking. So you're not analyzing it, you're just feeling. You know, you're not thinking about the feeling, you're just feeling. Then what I find is I start to really feel my own presence, like Sophie, you know, like it's kind of like I'm actually getting to know myself, which is really strange. It's like, you know, when somebody that you love or someone is in the room beside you, you can feel that it's them there. Have you felt like your own presence? Like feel your own presence. So yeah, once I feel the energy around my body, I start to sense my own presence. As I'm breathing, I'm finding it's a little bit of an effort at the start, like I'm focusing. I'm like really focusing. So once you get to that stage, then start to slowly let it go, like let the focus go. You have it under control. The thoughts are less and less. There's almost no thoughts. Start to just relax that focus. And then you'll start to feel that intoxicating feeling. And oh my God, it's so special because it's not just like this feeling. It's like a knowingness of everything I thought about there being more to this world than meets the eye is true. And you start to get that confirmation, and that really like inspires you to go forward with all of this like manifestation stuff and knowing that you can create your reality because you have that extra little bit of proof. And ever since I started doing this, I've noticed whenever I get in an argument or whenever I feel angry, I'm kind of like laughing in my head being like, whoa, like I am acting angry, but it's like an iceberg. Underneath it, I feel a deep sense of calm, you know? It's like I'm just going through the process. So having that tool is like really, really helpful for daily life. And what I noticed, right, is that 20 minutes is usually when I hit that deep level. The first 5 minutes are the hardest. And that's why I say just practice with a couple minutes first and then keep extending it. I do it first thing in the morning. I think that that's the best before your day starts. But if you can't do that in the evening, it's probably just as good. So the 20 minutes is when I just get into that deep level. So if you have enough time to not set an alarm, that's when you can really like reach like those like magical places. But if you're trying to set a daily practice, I usually just do 20 minutes every day, and I find that really helps. And then on the weekend, if you have more time, you don't need to set the alarm, and sometimes that will bring you even deeper. But in saying that, if you can't make 20 minutes in your day, again, 5 or 10 minutes, like 10 minutes will make a huge impact. 10 minutes every day. And sometimes I used to look back and be like, oh my God, like how did I not make this time for myself before? Like 10 minutes is nothing. It's nothing. And you'll find it seeping into your day. You're less reactive and more responsive because you just have that deeper sense of calm. And then, like I said before in the last video, it's helpful with manifestation because you know the way I'm always saying, it's how you feel. How you feel is what's actually being attracted to you. So if you're thinking about your desire, which is like say money, if you feel really good about it, like, yes, I know it's coming, I'm so excited, I feel like so grateful for the money that I already do have, you know that you're manifesting it and it's working. But if you're like, where is it? Why don't I have it yet? It's not here. Like, where's my manifestation? It's not working. That feeling and frustration is a sign that it's not. So when you have that manifestation, or when you have that meditation practice, you'll find that you'll notice those feelings earlier on, so they won't get into this kind of default autopilot where you're feeling negative and you don't even realize it. You'll notice it, like, oh, I'm starting to feel off, and then you can address it by doing something that you like, or changing your position, going for a walk, doing something different. Literally, like, ask yourself the question, what feels good next, and just do that thing. I'm gonna do another video on that, actually, like follow your highest excitement. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that from Bashar, but I try to live my life by that, and it's like, it never fails. Like, once you start, it's just that the hardest part is actually doing it, but it honestly never fails. And the smallest things about, like, choosing what drink you're gonna get has a ripple effect by if you choose the one that makes you most excited. But I'll talk about that more in the next video. Yeah, like, also, I suppose there's guided meditations, which is a good place to start again, because that's where I started with the Eckhart Tolle one. That can be a good way to ease you into it, so that you can start to feel those feelings that will get you excited to keep on going. But it's a beautiful practice, and it's such a self-loving thing to do. Like, your cells are responding and your brain waves are changing when you're in those states. So it's actually beneficial for manifestation as well, because you're changing your state. So it's really powerful. Yeah, I think that's all I have for now. But if you guys have more questions, please let me know. I have like a bunch of video ideas, but I would be delighted to hear what you guys want to hear about. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.